And the next step is to do the same thing with the same idea, counting, same tempo, same everything, but with doubles. So you're going to go 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 and 2, 3, and then you're going to move it back 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, until you do all the possibilities again. So I won't do them all because you get the picture, but 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 10, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you keep on pushing it back until again you make it back to 1. And now you've put a double on every possibility. So the goal is to put a single or a double anywhere your heart desires. And now you're getting comfortable doing that very thing. So when you hear and you're playing and maybe the melody goes ba ba da ba 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 da ba ba da ba 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 da, then you've learned all those letters, all those little tiny pieces. So when you hear you snare drum in different places, it's also really common to have 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's on the end of 6 then. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. But keep exploring new patterns with singles and doubles to keep gaining freedom. But always know where 1 is and be counting like that. So you can, some other examples would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Any example you can think of, keep it looping in 7, you know, because if it's too easy, you're not thinking hard enough because there's more hard stuff to do. Like, if all that was easy, then think 5s. Like, da, da, ba, ba, da, ba, ba. So, anything you can think of, go there. But always know what you're doing, know where 1 is. You don't have to know how to write it out necessarily, but know where the anchor is, because that'll really help you not get lost. So now your bass drum's starting to get freed up. Then the next step, which you can explore on your own, would be adding ghost notes in. So ghost notes are little soft notes that sort of fill in the middle space. So. Those. A lot of times they most comfortably fit between the hi-hats, like, and then you make room for the accents on the 2, well I guess it'd be the 3 and the 7. Those are the basic ingredients. I'm not giving you too much because we don't have that much time, but those are the ingredients to get your 7/8 groove happening. And when you escape the groove section into the world of soloing, it's a whole nother beast. And that's where your counting will really come in handy because you may not be keeping time, no one might be keeping time, but you still need to know where the 1 is. So if you're soloing in odd times, the first thing to do, I guess, would be to work on some patterns. And in a time like 7, an uncommon time like 7, a lot of them will not repeat when the bar turns over on 1. So for example, singles will. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then inverted doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2. So you'll see your right hand will land on the downbeat. On 1, and then the next measure, your left hand will land on 1. And to take it to the next level, some cool patterns would be like groups of 3, like right, left, left. But there's 16 notes, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And if you're doing it right, every 3 bars, it'll land on 1 again. And same with the right, right, left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Because those ones especially really help to free up your, get you away from the boxes of thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because the solo, if you have to hit 1 and 5, will get boring after a while, not only for the listeners, but for yourself as well. So you want to escape that, and this is a good way to do it. And these patterns, things that don't repeat every bar, will help you with your phrasing. So if you're playing, a good way to practice this is to trade grooves and solos with yourself. But within a realm that you're comfortable in, you're positive, you know where 1 is. So you have 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. All those solo ideas were just those little patterns we covered, just the right, left, left, right, or right, right, left, right, right. Another thing you can try doing is paradiddles. Any of the, I think of paradiddles, I think there's 4 paradiddles, like right, and then right, 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 and then the double on the downbeat, right, right, and then the last one. Those are all really good too if you're thinking 1. Bars that repeat. So there's infinite possibilities. But you get the idea. So the more you think of, the further you'll be able to take it. And the goal is to be able to be free. I remember the day that someone told me you can accent the and a 7 and not hit 1 in 7/8. Changed my life. Because at that moment I realized like that is the trick to escaping hitting 1 every time. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it really gives it this space, and it's more lively, less robotic, if you don't always have to hit 1. So the main point I want to make, to all you drummers out there, is that the boxes that we set for ourselves in odd times, for example, in 7/8, people oftentimes think in 4 and 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Those boxes, they are helpful for the beginning to get started, and a lot of times with grooves, with the band, that's kind of how things end up. But always remember that those boxes should be to keep the audience in check, not for you to keep yourself in check. You should be able, and I say it like it's easy, but it takes a lot of practice and it takes a lot of time, you should be able to be free without thinking groups of 4 and 3. It should be any accent, any landing, any small and large box you like, with or without hitting 1. That's the goal, to be free like that. But then, it's important to realize that most people in the world are not comfortable in these uncommon time signatures like 7. So it's important to be conscious of that, so that you can escape the boxes a little bit, and take people somewhere else, but then always be able to bring them back and say, hey, this is where we are. And you have to read your audience as well. If you're playing for no one, if you're jamming, then there's no reason you should be feeling the need to mark these boxes, because if you know where it is, then you don't need to show yourself. But it's important to keep the audience in mind, because no one wants to hear what seems like random note lengths and amounts. There needs to be some sort of groove to hold things together. And people need to feel one. Whether you play it or not, you need to make sure people know where it is. And that's my spiel on odd times. Good luck. and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Drum Brother.